Hey everybody, it's Scotty from Scotty's Record Shop with, I guess we'll just call this catching up. This is a lot of the stuff that came my way over the summer from hell. There was a lot of music, thankfully, to get me through. First few things were given to me. I actually had a friend of mine at work that decided that he was going to give me a chunk of his record collection. It was a lot of jazz, and I may make a video of that stuff. Some really interesting um, some really cool jazz that he gave me. But there was some rock sort of involved in that as well, and I'm going to show you some of those. But first, the first thing that was given to me um, was my son, who got married this past weekend, told me that as a tradition, the wedding party gets gifts, and he's like, "Well, I wanted to buy you an album, but you have everything," which I don't. But he's like, I don't know what to get you, so I took a chance with this. I'll be honest with you, way heavy for me, but he bought it for me, and so it's treasured. I am going to listen to it. This is like I'm really, as a friend of mine described it this morning. This is I'm pissed off music. I'm angry music. That's what this would be. I'd be playing this. It's really cool though. It's a picture disc. It's a Ronnie James Dio and Friends picture disc. Got all kinds of people on here. Doing a little tribute to Ronnie James. I have a lot of records. I'm going to try to blow through these fairly quickly, okay? Genesis, this is in great shape. Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. This was given to me from my friend Tim. Thank you so much, Tim. This is a David Bowie, in better shape than my copy. It's an original. It doesn't have the dog testicles, but it's the original. It's early pressing. How's that? Another one given to me by Tim. Another Bowie album in great shape, and this is an original pressing, so I'm keeping this. I do have a later pressing of it. One more thing that he gave me, which is kind of a rock, borderline jazz. Never really heard anything by these guys, but it blew my face off. Was the Maharishi Orchestra. Really cool stuff. Okay, now we're going to get into some serious vinyl. I found this one sealed. Ramones Mania. Great 2 album compilation of the Ramones. It is no longer sealed, just in case you were wondering. Mint copy. First Talking Heads album. Talking Heads 77. This is a reissue. Sounds good though, The Clash. I got sick of waiting, trying to find a copy of this. London Calling, this is a masterpiece. Really is. Killer album. Don Henley, his 3rd solo album. This is in great shape. Phil Collins, this would be his 4th solo album. Both of these are like late 80s pressings, so I was like, well, you're more apt to find these on CD than album, so I'm going to buy them. Why not? The Jacksons. I like the Jacksons / Jackson 5. There's one of them I didn't have. Great shape. On Epic, the first one they did on, they left Motown and went to Epic and did some great work there. Of course, some more soul. Aretha. Live in Paris. This album is fantastic. It's got some wear on it. The covers got some water damage, but the vinyl, the record in itself is in great shape. So these are a couple of albums that are reissues. This is Spirit's first album, and it's a mono reissue. This album is just, I don't want to use the word masterpiece, keep using it, but man, this is just an amazing album. If you don't know about Spirit and you don't know about this album, you may want to. Another really landmark album. You don't see this around original pressing, so I just got the reissue, 180 gram. Flying Burrito Brothers. Great stuff. Grab another pile here. 10 years after. I have this, but it wasn't original. It was on Chrysalis, 70s or early 80s pressing. But this is an original Durham pressing, and it's a great shape. Great shape. Some more 10 years after. Told you in the last video I'd show you some 10 years after. These are all original pressings, and they're all in fantastic shape. And the very first album from 10 years after. Great stuff. I am blowing through these a little quickly. Like I said, I've probably got 40 or 50 albums here to show you. So, and again, these were not all bought this week or something like that. These were accumulated over the summer, and there was more than this, but I kind of just picking and choosing, you know. Rush. One of the only early Rush albums that I didn't have. I don't have any of the remasters. I knew that I'd find this at a fair price for like $3. You know, I didn't want to spend, although I'm sure that the new masters sound wonderful. Some Grateful Dead. This is an original pressing, therefore it is an original mix on the green Warner Brothers label. This, I believe this is a half-speed master. This sounds really great, Modern Hotel. Great album. This is a really cool band. Really different, really interesting. This is a compilation, which is a good place to start if you don't know a lot about the band. But Steel Eye Span. Very interesting music. Continue to go here. These are some oldies or whatever you want to call them. The Jackie Wilson Story. A really nice, this is an 80s pressing. Double album. A lot of Jackie Wilson stuff. Mr. Excitement. Jackie Wilson. Let's see here. The Best of Sam and Dave. This is a great album. Great album. Original pressing as well. Little Anthony and the Imperials. A nice compilation of their stuff. This is another wonderful album. This is going from one extreme to another almost, but one of the few Jethro Tull albums I didn't have. I saw it really cheap, and I picked her up. Too old to rock and roll, too young to die. The Kinks, from that 70s era stuff. It's in pretty good shape. This guy I just discovered this summer. So I'm ashamed almost to say it, but amazing. Just, what can I say? Roy Buchanan. This guy could play guitar. Or could, anyway, before he died. But great guitarist. Great album from Roy. The first Def Leppard LP. On Through the Night. Original pressing, too. So now I have all of the Def Leppard that matters to me, the first 3 albums. I'm not a fan of Hysteria. The first LP from Uriah Heep. This is in really good shape too, and it's an original pressing. Some Good Heavy. Speaking of Good Heavy from about that same era, Deep Purple Fireball. In pretty good shape too. Somebody had given me a copy of another Deep Purple album, and I should have grabbed it, but it was in shape. It's in not bad shape, but I need a better copy of it. Okay, a few more albums here, and I'll let you go to watch more videos, of course, right? The Rolling Stones and Roll Gold. This is a great compilation of Rolling Stones music, just in case you don't know. If you've never seen this. I also have this on CD, but when I saw this this summer at the Record Connection, because this wasn't, I don't believe this was issued in America, and I can't remember, I think this might be a French pressing, if my memory serves me correctly, of that record. The Raspberries from Cleveland. This is a good record. It's an original pressing. It's got the original insert. If you don't know about that, then that's okay, but it does. It's there. It's great. Okay. Electric Flag. This is a great record. This is an original pressing, and it's in great shape. Great, great shape. A few more to go, guys. Wishbone Ash. This is in fair shape. It's not... I have a hard time finding Wishbone Ash albums locally, or at least at the Record Connection, that are in great shape, that aren't like ridiculously priced. But this isn't in bad shape at all. Great album from Wishbone. The Best of the Doors. Not a bad little compilation from the early 70s. This is a great album. This is great. Great. James Gang Live. Joe Walsh. This album rocks so hard. I couldn't believe how good this album is. I love this album. James Gang Live. You can find it fairly inexpensively too, and if you see it, pick it up. It's killer. Some Procol Harum. This is a promotional copy, actually. I didn't know it until I got it home and pulled it out. A friend of mine said, "You need to hear this." Robin Trower's last work with Procol Harum, and it's a great album. It's like a cross between Robin Trower and Procol Harum. It's like Robin Trower finally just came out of his little closet and just let it rip, and he does on this record. And like I said, I got it home and I pull it out and put it on the turntable, and I look, it's like, wow, this is a promotional pressing. You know, it was a great one. Okay, one more. A compilation by the group The Nice. Keith Emerson's band before Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Very Emerson, Lake and Palmer-ish. The one song on here that, if you don't know, you should know, is a song called America. Really heavy-duty instrumental. Great. Okay, I have no idea how long this lasted. Hopefully not too long. That's just an overview of everything that I got. By no means not everything that I got, but an overview from the summer of 2015. So hopefully we're all caught up now, I think. All right? As always, everybody, until next time, peace and love.